Anyone who thinks this is a car company is sadly mistaken. It is one component of what they do. What they are is a data generation company, a data analytics company, and more importantly down the road, an artificial intelligence company. And that is the game changer. Hey guys, Omar Khan here with Theta Trading, and today we're going to be talking about Tesla's second quarter earnings and the future of the company. Now, I'm super excited about where this company is going, so we're not going to get too much into earnings because you've probably already seen it. I'm going to get into it a bit, but not too much. But more importantly, what is the future direction of this company? All right. Before we do that, I'm going to ask you a favor. If you could kindly hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you want to hear future content from us, and also maybe a little comment and see what you'd like to see in future videos. All right, guys, let's get into it. So, Tesla's Q2 earnings. Now, second quarter earnings. Now, just before I do all that stuff, why are earnings even important? In the short run, stocks are a popularity contest. The stock market's a popularity contest. It's based really a lot on human emotion. But in the long run, it's very much dependent upon earnings. How much money does a company make? So in the long run, stocks are a weighing machine, okay? Now, we're going to really focus on earnings. How much money did this company make? Why did it make this? And then you have to make a decision whether you want to invest in a company like this. All right. So, Tesla beat earnings per share by a wide margin, about 40 cents a share. Okay, came in about $2.27, and the estimate was for about $1.72. Pretty good beat there. Automotive revenues up 43% year over year at $14.6 billion. However, a decent decline from the first quarter. Now, why did that happen? Well, that happened is because Shanghai, their main factory. Now, they have 4 factories across the world: Shanghai, Fremont, California, Texas, and Berlin. Now, their main factory, like I said, is Shanghai, okay? And China is the world's biggest auto market, okay? And they're rapidly transitioning to electric vehicles. Now, that factory, because of the COVID shutdown, the lockdowns in April and May, severely limited production. So that is more of a one-time event unless this happens again. So revenue came at $14.6 billion. That was a substantial decline from Q1. However, Tesla probably produced about 80,000 vehicles less than they could have. They also said that June was their best production month ever. Okay, automotive gross margins fell. And again, that is because Shanghai had to be shut down. It takes time to ramp it back up. And there's a cost. You're still going to be paying costs while you're not producing any vehicles. Furthermore, Texas and Berlin. Okay, now these are 2 new factories that really started in Q1. They're just ramping up. So they're not quite profitable yet, or maybe barely profitable, but they're still burning through money. So that means margins fell. But this also tells us something for the future. What does it tell us for the future? That tells us that Texas and Berlin are going to be increasing production. Elon said that by the end of the year, he expects Texas to be producing almost 5,000 cars a week. And he said 1,000 cars within a couple months. But we're hoping for 5,000 by the end of the year. And Berlin, he said 5,000 by the end of the year. Now, those are some pretty good figures. Texas is going to be a bit more challenging because they're doing the 4680 structural battery pack, which is a newer technology. Okay. Now, net income was at $2.6 billion. Again, that's a 62% increase year over year. That's a big increase. But a decrease from quarter one, okay? So again, quarter one, we had the Shanghai shutdown. That really impacted everything, okay? Now, I want to talk about a couple of things. Now, Bitcoin, they had a Bitcoin impairment, okay? Now, Bitcoin is something that they held for a long period of time, but Bitcoin caused a bit of a problem. And the problem it caused was they had to sell off 75% of their Bitcoin holdings because the Shanghai shutdown, they wanted to shore up their balance sheet. They have about $18 billion now in cash and cash equivalents. And they sold off this Bitcoin so that they could keep more fiat currency in case something happens, okay? Now, again, that added about $936 million to their balance sheet. Great. Vehicle production increased 27% year over year, but again, a decline from the previous quarter. Again, you're having inflationary factors, you're having COVID, you're having a lot of other issues. Elon Musk said demand is not the issue, okay? Now, more importantly, after all this is done, okay, so the earnings came out pretty good, but we know it was impacted by Shanghai. Texas and Berlin are ramping up, so they're not quite there yet. Now, when you have an earnings call, so after earnings are announced, you have a call with the team, right, with Elon and the team, and they're going to talk about in the future, what exactly is happening in the future? Where is this company. They reiterated 50% guidance year over year, 50% growth in the automotive business year over year for the next many years ahead. Now, we have Tesla coming in somewhere about 1.4 million vehicles produced this year, and we have their margins increasing, hopefully to the low 30%, which they've already achieved, hopefully maybe even the mid or high 30%. That is insane when it comes to margins, right? Those are gross margins. So to say 50% year over year, great place to be. Superchargers increased 34% year over year. Now that is important because if you want to take a long trip, one of the main concerns that people have when it comes to electric vehicles is, am I going to be able to get there? I don't know. Am I going to run out of gas or electricity? Sorry. You know, that range anxiety, that is still in a lot of people's minds. Now, I've owned a Tesla for about 14 months now, and I can tell you, I have a Model Y Performance, and generally speaking, I get about 500 kilometers of range, you know, and 80% of that 400 something. I don't drive 400 kilometers. That's about 240 or so odd miles. I generally don't drive that much, and if I do, I don't have a problem finding a supercharger. The navigation system will tell me where and when I need to recharge and for how long. It's a good place to be. Now, capacity continues to grow in California, Texas, and Berlin. Shanghai is receiving major upgrades right now, okay? So hopefully by the end of the year, they're able to produce over 1 million vehicles a year. California is ramping up, okay? They're also undergoing some changes right now, some revamping and some improvements, which will increase their capacity. And Texas and Berlin just started. I'm really excited about Texas and Berlin, okay? Also, Elon said that Cybertruck production will begin sometime in the middle of 2023. Now, we know they have a ton of pre-orders for the Cybertruck. So if they can start producing the Cybertrucks and getting them out, you know, having owned a Tesla for a while, you really start to see why people are moving towards it. Now, the sticker price is really high. Even Elon Musk said that prices are embarrassingly high, and he hopes to lower the prices in the future. But if you look at the total cost of ownership, the sticker price, like I said, may be very high. However, the total cost of ownership, because you're no longer paying for gas, and electricity, especially at nighttime, is a fraction of the price of gas. No more oil changes, no more spark plugs and tune-ups and all the other nonsense that comes with electric internal combustion engine cars. That stuff is going the way of the dodo bird, which is going to be extinction. Right now, prices are still high, demand is still too high. But once these prices of electric vehicles come down, I think it's going to be game over for the internal combustion engine industry, okay? Less was spent on R&D this quarter, most likely caused by the Shanghai shutdown, okay? Now, another part of their business we want to look at is energy generation and storage, okay? That's starting to ramp up. We know there's more and more of a demand for energy generation. That is solar panels and power walls. Now, Elon has said in the past that he expects the energy generation and storage business to be as big, if not bigger, than the automotive business. It is currently a fraction of that, okay? Now, here's the things I'm really, really excited about, okay? Things I'm really excited about in the future, which are not going to come to fruition right now. So right now, we have the Model 3, the Model Y, we have the 4 factories, we have Cybertruck next year, and the Semi, right? So eventually, all these big rigs that are out there, they will start to be replaced by semis. What I'm really, really excited about, and we haven't forecast this into our modeling yet, is Elon Musk said that by the end of the year, they expect full self-drive, or FSD, to be solved. That means, cars running around by themselves, just driving around by themselves. Once the data is out there, and you know that cars that are autonomous, like Tesla cars, and Tesla has a wide lead here, they will be safer than human drivers. Why? Because they don't text, they don't fall asleep, they don't do other nonsense behavior. They drive all the time, and they'll drive with far more precision and accuracy and safety than a human driver. Now, what does this mean to humanity? Imagine you could buy a subscription for $200 a month, and all of a sudden, you've got a driver. You're essentially paying for a chauffeur. How cool would that be? How many people would buy something like that? And what is a company like that worth? Now, what really excites me about Tesla is the humanoid robot. And that is a long ways off. I get that. But at the end of the day, Tesla is a data company and an artificial intelligence company. And this is where they're headed in the future. So it's really cool right now. Right now, you've got cars. Great. They're making a lot of them. They've got a huge amount of demand. More demand than they know what to do with. You've got energy generation and storage. You've got your robo-taxis and your full self-drive. So imagine a group of taxis, a fleet of taxis just picking people up and dropping them off by themselves. What are those businesses worth? Think of what the future of this company could be like and how much money this company would make. But what I'm really excited about is the humanoid robot. That to me is an absolute game changer. And we cannot forecast it into our model yet because it's not real yet. But if and when it becomes real, it changes humanity forever. Okay? And I'll give you an idea why. Think of the movie iRobot. If anyone's seen it, Will Smith, it's 2004. It's basically a robot, a humanoid robot. It's the one that Tesla has a prototype of. 5'8", 130 pounds, only goes 5 miles an hour, which is 8 kilometers an hour. So in case you got to run away from it, you can. Okay, that's good. Now, initially, it will replace boring, repetitive tasks that human beings do not like doing. Okay? So think of what this could be like in the future, though. Right now, the limitation on GDP is human labor. Okay? Imagine one day you have an unlimited labor pool. GDP would start increasing at a massive rate. GDP being gross domestic product. Think of all the projects that can get done. You want to build a government wants to build a bridge. Right now they have to hire a company to do it. They have to have human beings do it. It's very expensive. There's limitations. But in the future, imagine these things are all built not with us human beings, but with artificial intelligence beings that don't work around the clock. They don't complain. They don't ask for pay raises. They don't ask for time off. They just keep going. Right now, GDP is growing at about a healthy pace in a developed economy like Canada is about 2 to 4% or so, maybe 2 to 5%. If this comes to fruition, there is no longer going to be a limitation on GDP. GDP would increase exponentially. That means the amount of stuff we want to get done. Imagine you had a robot in your house. And you woke up and you said, I want eggs and I want you to clean the house and I want you to go mow the lawn afterwards. And then, oh, by the way, I've got a bunch of chores and go pick up the groceries and do all this stuff. Go wash my car. Right now, that would be your whole day gone, right? And you would be very tired from all that stuff. In the future, this will be something that the Tesla robot would do for us. Now, it's a long ways off. I understand that. But this is why we invest in companies. For the foreseeable future, we're looking at Q2 earnings, Q3 earnings, all the different things I talked about. And that is really exciting. And that is, that's going to create a huge amount of revenue and earnings for this company. But what really does it, what makes everything else look piddly compared to it, is going to be that humanoid robot. So I'm going to be watching really intently over the next little while to see how Tesla is solving this issue. So if they're able to make this happen, they're already printing a ton of money from what we've seen. Like I said, net income was up 2.6 billion, 62% year over year. And we know that they're increasing their vehicle derivatives. That's just a small portion of their business. So anyone who thinks this is a car company is sadly mistaken. It is not a car company. It is one component of what they do. What they are is a data generation company, a data analytics company, and more importantly down the road, an artificial intelligence company. And that is the game changer. I cannot tell you how excited I am about the day when that comes. I've been investing in Tesla stock for about a year and a half. I wish I had gotten to the party earlier. And again, that's not meant to be stock advice. You must do your own homework. I'm just telling you the reasons I'm so excited. I'm not just the fact they're making tons of money right now. That's great. But I'm looking down the road, 3, 4, 5, 10 years down the road, when robo-taxis, artificial intelligence, the entire world moves to electric vehicles, we're entirely to sustainable energy. Now that's their mission statement, to transition the world to sustainable energy, right? Renewables. And they're already cheaper. It would change everything. Now people are asking, what's everyone going to do? Well, that's a good question. I don't know what everyone's going to do, but I do think that what's going to happen is we human beings will move up the food chain in terms of what we do, and there will be the concept, as Elon Musk said, of universal basic income. Because if you're having this much productivity in society, that means these companies are making a lot of money, which means they're going to be taxed, and the people who use their things are going to be taxed as well. That money will be redistributed in the form of universal basic income. So everybody will receive a certain amount of money per month for the foreseeable future. And the idea is that everybody will have a better quality of life, because that's what it's about. But I'm worried about a few things. I'm worried about, if people have nothing to do, you know what they say, if you're idle, you might get into some bad habits, and that could be a problem. It could lead to societal issues, depression, anxiety. These are things I'm really worried about, but I'm so excited about where the world is going in the future, because I think it's going to be a very, very different world than we've ever seen before. And it's very difficult for us human beings to conceptualize what a world like this could look like. It's different from anything we've ever seen. Anyways, guys, I really hope that you've enjoyed this video, and I hope you see why I'm so excited about the future of this company, and I'm investing, a substantial sum of my net worth into this company, and I truly believe in what they're doing. You should always invest in companies that you believe in, leadership you believe in, and you should do your homework. So if that company's stock happens to fall down, and it does, and did with Tesla, this year, fell down substantially, you should never be in a position of panic. You should be in a position of opportunity. You should be thinking, oh my God, if I had more money, this thing's on sale. I know what it's going to be worth in the future. That is where your mindset should be. And that is when you truly grasp investing. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you could, again, like I said, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell notification for future videos. And until next time, Omar Khan here from Theta Trading. We'll talk soon.